Good morning, folks. Thanks for your patience. I'm Tawana Wright with AARP Alabama, and welcome to Plant Based Cooking. One of the beauties and downfalls of live events is that something can go wrong. We had a little technical difficulty this morning, but I'm so glad you stayed with us. And Chef Kim, thank you for your patience this morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, not a problem at all.
All right, all right. Well, folks, we want to remind you that AARP is empowering people to choose how they live as they age. AARP is a nonpartisan 501c4 organization with more than 420,000 members in Alabama. AARP's role is to advocate on their behalf, all of them, without regard to politics. Since the pandemic began, we've been actively trying to give people things to do at home while they're staying safe. And this morning, we have another great episode of Cooking with Chef Kim. And want to turn it over to her. Chef Kim, what are we going to be cooking this morning?
Today we are making tomato black eyed pea soup, and we're gonna have a little hot water cornbread to go with it.
Sounds like a great lunch plan. I'm going to move out of the way so you can give it to us.
Awesome. So what I have for you today is I'm gonna go ahead and cut my pot on. Got a little oil going in there, but I've already chopped up some onions and a jalapeno. And I'm going to crush and chop the garlic now. And you can use the garlic press if you have it. I just like to kind of do it this way, to smash the garlic and then chop it so that as it cooks, it kind of becomes a part of the dish. Like, it's going to be smaller than the onion, but you can see it. And a lot of times when you just use the garlic press, it seems like you have to use more garlic. So we've got that chopped up pretty good. And we're going to go ahead now and add this to our pot. These are our onions. Got a little grapeseed oil, a couple tablespoons of grapeseed oil in here. Okay. Jalapeno. And here we have our garlic. Just chopped up. Okay. And to this, we're going to add some of our simple blend, which if you watched us by now, you know that that's just our spice blend that we have. Okay. Add a little bit of that in. Hot. Stir things around. Okay. And I've kind of got this on sort of high heat. I know you guys have been waiting. All right. Just sweat that down a little bit. And what I have these are frozen field peas with snaps. You can get them in the freezer section of your grocery store. I like to use those when it comes to these peas or fresh peas if they're in season at farmers market, which they actually are right now. But what you do is you cook them first. So you cook them with a little red bell pepper, some onions, and really you just want to get this going to this part of the soup. You can use canned, I would imagine. I've never used canned, but I'm sure that's an option. So I'm going to add this to it. And normally when people are making soup, they add some bay leaf to it. And so I had bay leaf in with the peas. So we're just going to let that count for all. And I put bay leaf in the container. So we've got that in there. So we're going to let this kind of get hot. All right. While it's doing its thing, we're going to add a little bit more spices and seasoning to it. So we're going to add some cumin, a teaspoon of cumin, going to add a teaspoon of turmeric. And don't say, oh, she just killed it for me. It just balances and rounds it all out. Promise you. And we're going to add a little bit of garlic powder. We're going to add 2.5 teaspoons of that. And my measuring stones are really kind of cool. They have a 3/4 measuring option. So I want to make sure I don't want to put too much. And we're going to do 2 teaspoons of sea salt. I've got my Himalayan sea salt here. All right. And then last but not least is black pepper. And this is fresh ground black pepper. Just keep it in this container. I'm going to add a teaspoon of that. Now, these are just simple measurements depending on how you flavored your beans. You may need to go back and adjust it later. So just keep that in mind. So, while this is going and heating up nicely, we're going to go ahead and start on our tomatoes. And so we've got a bowl here, and these are this is a can of whole peeled tomatoes. All right. And we're going to I like them because if you get tomato sauce or chopped tomatoes, really you're just getting water or tomato juice. So I like to go in and actually squeeze the plum tomatoes by hand. I'm just kind of breaking them apart here. All right, you can see. And it just gives it a rustic look and feel when you're scooping it up and putting it in your bowl. And you could take it out and chop it, but I just don't want to be that anal retentive about it. This lets me know that it was homemade and, there's a lot of love in it. So I think I've got all of the tomatoes kind of broken up. And like I said, these are whole peeled tomatoes, so the skin is off of them. If you've got some wonderful jarred tomatoes that you did over the summer or last year even, you could definitely use those. Those would be amazing to add to this. So we've got this boiling here. I'm going to go ahead now and add this in. This is the tomato component. All right. And then at this point, you can add stock, vegetable stock, or you can just add some of the jus that came off of the beans. And so that's what I'm going to do. Add the liquid that came off of the beans. A couple of beans in there with it, but add that to that. Bring all of that up. Okay. All right, and as that comes together, I'm going to get started a little bit on our hot water cornbread. But before I do that, I do want to add some cilantro to this. So chop up some cilantro. And you just want to do like maybe about a half a bunch, depending on the size of the bunch. This one here is pretty large. I'm just going to do half of it. Okay. And you want to bypass the stems on this because it's already some strong, bold flavors in there. It smells so good to just have some fresh herbs in your soup. And as the weather is getting chilly outside, this is something nice to have. It's quick to do. It's hearty. And who doesn't love a tomato soup with little added something to it. All right. Add this in. Okay. There we go. Stir that in some. This smells great already. And literally, you're just bringing the soup back up to a boil and letting everything heat through, cook evenly. You know, you don't have to sit here and wait for your peas to cook because they've already been cooked. And so you pretty much got everything ready and going. So I'm going to take this pot and take it over here to the stove. Okay. And then we're going to get our other pan going for our hot water cornbread. Okay. So to this, I'm going to add some grapeseed oil. Just enough to fry it and flip it over. And I have some local yellow cornmeal. Got a couple of cups of that. And in here I have some hot water. So that's where you get the hot water from. Okay. Before I do that, I'm going to add our salt. So we got about half a teaspoon of salt to this. Okay. And I know this is strange, stirring it in here, but so I'm just going to put it in here and just kind of stir it in the cup. And if you have like a ice cream scoop, you can dole out your ice cream scoop and dole out batches that are of the same size. We're just going to use a spoon today. You don't have to be that fancy. All right. Stirring it up till it gets to the right consistency. Hopefully our oil will be ready in a little bit here. This is on. This will be fine. And of course, frying the hot water cornbread is not the healthiest way to go about it, but you know, it's all about 80-20. Sometimes you just want to indulge and have a nice little treat. All right, so as that's getting hot, the oil is almost there. Don't want it to burn. Okay. Okay. The bottom. So this is I think it's about ready. So I'm gonna check it. I'm gonna get a little water and check it. How are we on questions, Tawana?
We got lots of folks asking about the recipe. I know we posted the ingredients, but we didn't post the recipe. Folks, the ingredients were posted during the delay. If you have problems with that, just shoot me an email. I'll post my email in the comments. Chef Kim, we had a couple of comments about the spice blend. And I remember you told us that the spice blend depends on our preferences, but I know some of the bases on that were garlic powder and onion
So yeah,
powder.
you've got salt, pepper, base. That's the base that's in our blend, and then you can add any kind of allium that you want, whether it's onion powder, granulated garlic, you know. But we have garlic here that we added in, some garlic powder and fresh garlic too. So, And I may have gotten this a little too runny, but we're going to go for what we know. So I think our oil is ready, or just about ready. Our soup is boiling, so that's good. The burner's working. I'm gonna taste the soup real quick. Make sure everything's good on that end. It's really good. Got just a little bit of a kick to it, but it's good. I'm gonna add a little bit more simple corn. If you don't like garlic, you don't want to eat my food. But sometimes things lack flavor, and it's not always salt. A lot of times you can add garlic powder to it, really, and that's just what you need. So I don't want to burn the camera, lady. So just gonna kind of, these are gonna be like dollar bill sizes. Coin size, dollar size, the coin, I can't even talk, size, like little dollar pancakes. So, okay. And it doesn't take it long to cook the cornbread. And I have a lined plate here. So we can take some out and flip it over. Okay. Really quick, so you don't have to burn it. Yeah, they do kind of remind you of fried green tomatoes, but you can make them thicker, and they will almost seem like a salmon croquette patty, really thick. So they're gonna just take probably just a few minutes on each side, and then once we get some, we can plate them and plate everything up. A little color on here. All right, so I'm gonna take these out. Like I said, it doesn't take them long. They were pretty thin, but you can make them thicker, like with the ice cream scoop. And you can just eyeball it in terms of the water that you add to it. And that way it'll let you know how thick you have them or you want it to be. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and plate the soup and put a couple of these with it. We're really boiling hot. Turn that down. It smells really good. All right. Any other questions? Tawana, any other questions?
The biggest question is still with the recipes, and we haven't had anything other than that, other than the emails I'm getting, because people seem to have a hard time pulling the show up. But that's about it.
Okay. So this is, even though we had a little difficulties, this is an easy day, I think. So this is the soup. I'm just going to take 3 of these and put them there on the side. So, and there you have it. That is tomato black-eyed pea soup with hot water cornbread. Fry some more. That's it.
All right, Chef Kim, we're going to go back through a few of these. Folks, again, the post for the recipe is posted. What I'll do is I'll post it again, but the recipe is posted. If you like the recipe, I'm dropping my email address in here. And what we have is a list of ingredients. And then we have the list of ingredients. And if you're wanting the cook recipe, we'll have to follow up with Chef Kim after the show for that. But like, again, we have the list. The ingredients are posted. The ingredients are posted. Yeah, I see somebody's already emailed me for that. The ingredients are posted, and it's also on the Facebook page right above the show. And we'll get that to you. We're going to show you a video of upcoming events and drop the survey link in the end. All right. Thank you again.
Thank you.